Hey, what's up everybody? John here, and it's another beautiful Saturday morning. It's overcast, it's a little bit humid, but it's supposed to rain. It has rained a little bit a couple days ago. It rained buckets, and today it's supposed to rain again. So we're gonna knock out this little update pretty quick. I'm just gonna show you a few things. There's so many things that are pretty much the same as they have been for the last few weeks, so we're not going to get into everything. I'll just tell you about a couple things that are happening, a couple of things that are producing, and some things that we have harvested. So, and then at the end of the update, I got a special surprise for you, and so you got to come with me, and we'll check it out here in a little bit. Okay, so right here, this is our cucumbers. This is our large cucumber, the burpless. And in the last week or so, week and a half, we have taken probably 6 of the big cucumbers off. They're just growing like wildfire. But the biggest one was like 14.5 inches, and the smallest one I think was like 10.5. And that we just picked those because there's no reason we need a 14-inch cucumber. So if we were to let them to go, they would get huge. Anyway, we got the 14.5 inch, the 10 inch, and all sizes in between. So we've got like 6 so far, but there's probably 6 on here that are going to be ready, I don't know, in the next few days, maybe half a week or whatever. And after that, there are so many little ones like this. Some that still are just super tiny that have the bloom on them that are still being pollinated. But if all of these produce, we're going to have way too many. At least way more than we can eat. Because I'm not eating them. But everybody else, everybody who likes them, they're eating them and they like them. So I don't know what we're going to do with them. But I know that these right there are pickling cucumbers. So far, we've got 50 of the pickling cucumbers, and that's part of the surprise for later. Okay, here's the surprise. We're pickling. So last night we got started cutting up cucumbers and cutting up all the stuff to go in the pickles. And we were hoping that we would have a gallon so we could make a full batch. With 50 cucumbers, we had a busting 2 gallons of sliced cucumbers. And so later today, Kelly and Carla, and I'm going to be in there. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably video a little bit. But anyway, they're going to get in the kitchen. They're going to take what we prepared last night and actually do the canning of the pickles. It's gonna be bread and butter, but 50 cucumbers, and half of those were just picked in the last week. So stay tuned. So look how full our beans are. Last week, just across the string in between, it was just the wispies, and now it is full of the leaves. And I think I showed you we had some beans actually coming on. If you look right there, we got baby beans, but we'll pull this back and look right there. That one is huge, and it is almost ready to go ahead and be picked. So we don't have a whole lot of the big beans yet, but it's progress. And if you really look through there and pull back all the leaves and the vines, there's a lot of small beans, and so it's going to be like hide and seek for a few weeks probably. So I don't know how many beans we're going to get, but if there's as many beans as what it looks like there should be, we're going to have a bunch. Our spaghetti squash is exploding. Oh my gosh. So the plant is actually through here on the other side of the bed, and it has put on vine that come out under over here and vine that come out over here. It is on top of itself, and we have had to actually wrap it around inside because it has grown so much that if we were to let it grow over, it would probably be out to here, and I don't know. I don't know if we need to trim some back. I don't know if that's good for it or not, but if you are experienced growing whatever, melons or squash and that type, is it okay to prune back the vine, or do we not want to do that? Let me know in the comments. So we do actually have at least one spaghetti squash that we can see, so let me show that to you. So it is going to be right down in here. Sorry, little honeybees and bumblebees. Oh, let's see. Get back before I don't want to get stung here. Right down in here. Oh, there we go. Check it out. Now we hope that it actually got pollinated, so that it will go ahead and grow. You know, if it doesn't get pollinated, just like the other squash, it will shrivel up and it will go ahead and rot. But this is our first time growing spaghetti squash, so we'll see. Hopefully that nice pretty little round ball will just get bigger and bigger, and that'll produce. And these blooms, I'm noticing this morning, there are bees all over, so they are being pollinated, at least this morning. So the blooms, the blossoms that are being pollinated, hopefully they'll produce fruit in the coming days and weeks, so stay tuned. And do you remember the cantaloupe that just wouldn't grow? Well, it's growing, and it is spreading out nice. Got a whole bunch of little flowers on it. They are being pollinated too, so hopefully we'll have some good cantaloupe grow on it. But our leaves are doing a funky little curl. We got something eating on a leaf there, but for now we're just gonna be excited that it's growing, and if we see something that looks like it's something we can take care of, we're gonna do that. Like I said before, growing a garden, it's not it's not always easy, and there are things, especially for us, since we're not used to it, it's not something we do normally. It's really our first big scale garden project. We'll just have to see. All right, so you know, we talked about our cabbages. We've been talking about them for a couple months now. We actually harvested 3 cabbages the other day. A couple of them actually had split just like the day before we harvested them. So they are in a refrigerator right now, and I think after the pickles today, I think Carla and Kelly are going to probably make some freezer slaw. That's a good use for it. But we also have some cabbages right now that are still on there that we plan to pick like in a week, that are split or are beginning to split. So I don't know, they're just too ripe, maybe they're get too hot in the sun, but they're splitting. So we're gonna have to take a look at all our cabbages, and we may have to harvest some of them a lot earlier than we'd hoped, because we wanted to kind of just grab them every so often and not have a whole bunch at once, but we'll see. And something got into our lettuce here. Well, not really. Actually, our lettuce was growing really good, but it had gotten so hot, the lettuce started to bolt and had a very thick stem that started to grow up with the leaves. So Kelly went ahead and harvested all the remaining romaine, and so now it's in the fridge, and our lettuce patch is done, and that's okay. So we're going to enjoy that, have a couple of salads. The zucchini plants from a couple weeks ago, where that one completely died off because of the borer. This one, it just is surprising because it's starting to look healthy again. Took off some of the dead stuff, and new stuff has popped up. So maybe it is going to be okay. We'll see if it puts on any fruit. And that just surprises me. It really seems like it has got a second wind and has really popped up in the last 3 or 4 days. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe those the borer worms are not going to completely decimate it, but because we had the one die and we had so much trouble with the borers on these, Kelly went ahead and planted a couple more over in this bed that we had the onions in, and so she added more dirt and planted the seeds, and she just planted them a week ago and they're already that big. So hopefully they will grow and it'll be a late summer, early fall harvest, which is great. We'll take it. So stay tuned. And it's taken half the summer, but we finally got flowers on the marigolds. Also, we had some blossom end rot on some of the tomatoes, and Kelly added some calcium, and the tomatoes that are now growing on those particular plants, they look pretty good. We don't see any new evidence of more end rot, so hopefully that did the trick. But we've got a lot of rain in the last few days, so we may have to add some more, just because it does get washed away by the rain and overwatering and stuff. So it's just one of those things that you have to keep making sure the soil is healthy. So what else? We've got other tomatoes that we've been working with for the last however long. They just are struggling. The plants are struggling. Tomatoes look good, but we've had some get almost ripe and start to split, so we're gonna have to maybe start taking some off before they get ripe and let them ripen in the house. Other things are little onions are doing good. Our garlic, I don't know what's going on. They look the same as they have for the last month, but they're not slimy and they're looking healthy. So we'll see how they produce, what they look like when we pull them out of the ground. Strawberries are exploding, the plants anyway, not literally like, phew, that would be gross, but we've harvested quite a few tiny strawberries, a couple of big ones, and so I think they're getting put in the freezer. What else? Potatoes in the ground somewhere, hopefully that they're growing. Peppers looking good. Yeah, I don't know, that's about it. There's not a whole lot to report, but we're about to have pickles. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, that way you know when new videos come out. And I'll see you guys on the next video. But right now, stay tuned right after this, because we got pickles. We're gonna have the process of the pickles right now. Okay, so what are you doing?
We're making pickles.
You're doing what?
We're making pickles.
What kind of pickles?
Bread and butter pickles. The kind that John doesn't like. The best kind, though. Yummy.
In goes the green peppers.
I was gonna say, what did we add?
Green peppers.
All
And
right.
then we'll add onion.
All right. John is so wonderfully chopping up our green onion.
It's awesome.
Or I'm sorry, our green pepper and our onion for us.
Add the onion. Then salt, people. Actually, they probably shouldn't be in the.
So phase one of the pickles is complete, and now it goes in the fridge. Okay, so this is day 2 of the pickle process. What are we doing today?
So the second step is to my sister-in-law Carla is rinsing what we soaked last night in the peppers and the onions with some salt and water. They were soaked last night. And now we're doing the next step, which is to heat everything up in a large container with vinegar, sugar, mustard seed, and celery seed. So I'm getting ready to add those as she's adding the rinsed pickled cucumbers. So that's the next step.
Okay.
Just rinsing and draining that salt and water mixture off of the cucumber, green pepper, and onion mixture. We let it overnight. It has to be at least 3 hours.
Rinse this real quick, sorry.
Oh, that smell. It smells like we're dyeing Easter eggs.
Yeah. Two, 3, 4, and now we have mustard seed. 2 teaspoons of that. Also, it is okay that these are rusty because they don't actually taste the food. Just so you know.
But we don't need. I do have another funnel if you need it.
Now we are at a boil.
Time to can. Okay, so I didn't get it videoed, but they took the jars and they filled them with the pickle mixture that was in the other pot, and so they filled all these jars and they put them in the water, and we're waiting for it to really get a good rolling boil, and then we'll let them do that for 10 minutes and then take them off the heat and take them out of the water. We actually had, because it was a double batch, we wound up having to take half of the jars and the remainder of the pickle solution downstairs to the other stove. And so the ladies are downstairs right now doing that, and I'm watching water boil. So enjoy. Now we just set them?
Just set them over there. And they set for 12 hours. You can dump the water off. Just push them back here out of the way. That's awesome. I like that popping sound. Not sure which one it was, and I'm not going to go around poking them, but
Well, why not? Well, there is, well, it's half of them.
half of them, 9 of them.
Yep, there's half of them. 9 more to go downstairs. Let's see, we already had 2 pop, and as soon as
There you go.
there's another one. Let's see if we have another one pop. Yes! That's a good sign. Okie doke.
That's cool.
So this is the second half. This is the second 9 jars of the 18.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, she said pour, yeah.
Look at those pretty jars. That's exciting.
And it continues to bubble for a little bit after it comes out.
There you go.
What
Now
it-
you just have to wait for them to ping, which means that they sealed. And I think you're supposed to let them sit for about 24 hours. So they have to be completely cooled to room temperature.
All right. So how you feel?
Excited! We canned! For the first time!
First time ever. All right. Ping, ping.